With the end of CSGO and the release of Counter-Strike 2 in September of 2023, let's take some time to appreciate some of the greatest stories in Counter-Strike history. Let's start by talking about one of the greatest Cinderella stories in CS history, ENCE and their run at the IEM Major Katowice in 2019. Very few teams captured the magic of a major like ENCE, or won over the hearts of CS fans the globe over. Even 5 years after their historic run, you can see their footprint on the game today, when you see the simple phrase, EZ4ENCE. Okay, so who is ENCE? ENCE is a Finnish esports organization founded in 2013 and picked up a Finnish CSGO squad to play in local tournaments. This early roster couldn't really find their footing, and the team eventually disbanded their CSGO team in June of 2014. 2 years later, in 2016, they re-entered CSGO, where they didn't really crack the top 30 until they assembled their dream team that would take them to finals at Katowice 2019. Let's meet the team. First, there was Alu. Alu actually started his career with that early ENCE squad back in 2013, before leaving to join an up-and-coming mouse sports with young Kerrigan and young Tabson. Alu was quite good in his heyday, and actually was ranked number 19 in the world in HLTV's top 20 players of the year in 2015. He bounced around a couple of teams from Ninjas in Pajamas, Optic, and a second 6-month stint back with ENCE, and even joined a young Nico and rejoined Kerrigan on FaZe. The thing about Alu is that he was a good opper, but couldn't carry a team on his back. When you're competing with oppers like Device, Simple, Prime Coldzera, and Prime Kenny S, it's hard to just be an above-average opper, which is what Alu was. By the time he returned to ENCE for the third time in 2018, he was already 25, which is already pretty old by esports standards, and arguably had his best years behind him. Next, there's the IGL Alexi B. Alexi B spent most of his first few years in CSGO bouncing around mid-tier Finnish teams, including a 6-month stint in 2016 with ENCE. Alexi B signed a second time with ENCE in April of 2018 as an unproven but young IGL. Next are the two Finnish veterans X7 and Ariel. These guys have been staples of the Finnish CSGO scene and have been playing in the Finnish scene for roughly 5 years each before signing with ENCE in 2018. Finally, there was the young prospect Sergey, who was 16 when he was signed by ENCE, and would eventually be the youngest player to win an MVP at the Star Series and I-League Season 6. I'd love to go more in-depth with these players, but I really can't because prior to their 2019 run, there wasn't a lot of information out there about them, except for Alu. But this team seemed to be getting it together, and was slowly picking up some traction, moving up the rankings and into HLTV's top 15 teams in the world. They were good, but never good enough to be considered serious contenders for any major tournament. They won a handful of B-tier tournaments until they broke through and won the Star Series and I-League CSGO Season 6 in late 2018. But then they returned to just being an above-average team who would occasionally beat one of the top-tier teams, but would usually lose. Enter the IEM Major Katowice. The Major had 3 stages: the new Challengers stage, the new Legends stage, and the new Champions stage. The new Challenger stage was basically for unproven teams or teams that just qualified. ENCE was one of those teams. Throughout the Challenger stage, they only dropped their first best of 3 to Renegades 2-0 and secured their spot in the next group stage of Katowice. But here's when things get a little hairy for ENCE, going into a game against Hellraisers.
Or on Inferno. The map is Inferno. Renegades and ENCE. One of them will be coming back to the next major. We find out who as we jump into the action. It's going to be Vint.
Surely the damage has already been done. Player from Pit's going to be Liaz. He's going to open up his account in this round alongside Ariel, who comes in for 2. May not expect 2 players to be stacked on the banana side, and unfortunately for ENCE, Azo was playing passively. I think Alexi B is going to see that very soon. Not quite, just round the corner. There we go. Peeks out a little bit further, and that's the round done. Bomb's been dropped out. Alexi B padding the stats for 3K.
Plan B's for the Vince, and Liaz going to continue his tear at the A bomb site. He's got 3 so far, going for a 4th, and he's going to get that 2. Yes, he's so low. The follow-up peek from Jacob does it, and this spells the end for ENCE. It is going to be Renegades taking down ENCE in this first match of the Legends stage. They're going to go 1-0, 16-13. That defense, spectacular from Renegades, and Jacob ends with 30.
It should be, and you are here at the right exact time. I do have some very special commentators coming your way as this pistol round kicks off on Dust 2. It's going to be Machine and Sponge. Take it away, boy.
Pressure being applied to Hobbit now. He just has to survive, and he's going to catch him just as the flashbang pops. Just on alley now.
No kid either.
Yeah, he's going to start to back away, but punished again. Hobbit. Great connection from Sergey. Alexi needs to do the same, and they do. A double from Sergey. Looking for 3. Woxic's not going to make it easy. UCT's just on the other side of that wall. Every noise you make will be heard, and he knows it. The Molotov's going to make plenty of noise. That's so much info. They're pushing through it. And Angel, softened up, is going to find both. No time, no hope. She's going to force him off. But Hobbit, spectacular double. He needed that. ENCE, they have to work with 3. Starting to cross again. In the meantime, Angel's going to deal with it. And that's the game. How does it end so quick? Issa finds a double as well. Hellraisers, it took a little too long for comfort, but they are happy.
They lost the first 2 games of the new Legend stage against Renegades and Hellraisers, and set up a win-or-go-home best-of-3 against Alu's old teammate, Tabsin, and the German team, Big Clan.
Small delay, just to make you feel the anticipation a little bit more. Big taking on ENCE. Somehow X7 survives it, 1 HP. There's the flashbang through it. Gabi's going to be in perfect position to stop this. His teammate goes down. Double kill for Gabi. He's going to get straight heads-up fights. If he wins these first 2, that's a big one. He gets the second. X7 goes down as well. Zamtars, now you see why they picked him up. That's a great sequence, and he has recovered in this round. I don't think he'll expect that third player to be so far back, but he is looking in this direction, and he's got that as well.
He could get picked off from the backside. Tizian just behind the box, springs up, and that's the first map done. Big, convincing, comfortable, never looked in.
This is for elimination. Big is now up 1-0. ENCE is, face to face with the fact that they could be going out of this major very early on. Well, they were probably expecting and probably believing they could make it to the next stage. They might be going out 0-3.
You just can't catch a break right now, ENCE. Everywhere they go, they're being smacked down. Tizian MP9 opens up with authority with 2. Sergey burns through a crisp.
Tabsin needs a kill here, but the Molotov gonna hold him back, and he goes for the peek. Alu just holding that angle. Nex is gonna fall as well.
Down with the smoke and A main and isolate, segregates the terrorists from one another. Only nearly lined up for God B, but the bomb's now been dropped. Here comes Nex from the shadows. He will strike. 2 kills in the round. Can he double up? Can he go one better? The pop flash not quite working. Alu around the corner, no scope, close range, and ENCE will take us to a 3rd map.
Big versus ENCE. It all comes down to this 3rd map in this series.
They must have heard him shooting the AK, surely. Now they definitely do. Next close range from Bank, doesn't expect a double stack. Next 7 can thank his lucky stars, but up close, Next gets him. Is this really happening? Sergey spins around on a swivel. Not sure if he realizes this is now. He does. He's gonna try and draw out Nex into the open, and Sergey. Meanwhile, Nex is gonna come around the corner. This is gonna get defused, and also gets the kill. How is that possible, Nex? Got B, peeks for the AWP, but he's gonna be the first to fall. But he's up close and personal. Aerial perforates his skull. And with that death, it could be the end of this round for Big. Tabsin, last man standing, last man knocked down. ENCE 14-10.
Quite a ride last year, impressed so many people. They struggled.
ENCE won the series 2-1, only losing the first map. Despite Nex and Tizian's best efforts, they could not beat ENCE. Everyone was doing their part, getting the kills they needed. Just look how even the kills are spread among their entire team. But their opponents only get harder from here. Next up, a rematch against KennyS and G2. G2 has had a rocky history thus far. Up to this point, G2 has been almost exclusively a French roster, and as a result, were quite active in these several French shuffles throughout the years. Most recently, their roster was shaken up in May of 2018 as a part of the 4th French shuffle. While I would love to talk about the French shuffle in more detail, it would require me to explain this Midsummer Night's Dream-esque relationship graph. So in short, G2 acquired X10s from LDLC. Although immensely talented with the likes of KennyS and Shox, ENCE took a map off them earlier this tournament. But can they do it again?
Well, the impact starts now, and so does the pistol round. We're going into Dust 2, and starting on the CT side against G2 Esports. Reminder, everyone, an elimination is at stake here, and to deliver the action is going to be Henry G and Sadicase.
Alexibon Goose has to stay all by himself. They line up for him. That's pretty good. He gets 2. Now his teammates are encouraged to rotate the advantage back out. It's Flash as well. USP. Alexi B. He's got 4.
And he's actually putting right behind them, but it doesn't look to be a problem. He will go down to the Glock, but Shox is there to defend with the M4.
He's certainly going to have to get that bit ready. The nade didn't do it, but soften them up either way with the MP5, and the M4 closes out Sergey down. There used to be 2 little boxes down there you could get behind. 6. Those don't exist, so there's nowhere to hide. Once the position's revealed, but he's hit a spectacular headshot onto Sergey, and Kenny's come to his aid. Alexi's all that's left, and we're going to overtime. 15-15, good hold from G2. Lead back in their favor with 2 straight rounds, and the money is, again, is a factor because it's MR3 10K in Valve's rule set. Shox and Lucky trying to make that the case. Alexi B's on top of the site, he can tap this. Lucky's got to go around it, he's not even there. He can't get to it, he's holding this. Alexi B might does enough, jump shot's gonna be required, and he would have to be lucky. It's ENCE with 18. To lead the last round of the game in overtime. As Alexi B gets Kenny S as well, Lucky and Body trying to keep G2 in contention on their own map. It's a 1-on-5. Again, it's Lucky left alive, and I think ENCE have done this. We're gonna go to Mirage with them, 1 map up, bomb down in tunnels, they know where it is. He'll swing around the box, and that'll be the end of him. Shot in the back, and taken down by the man who started the round.
Not on a team play right now. And the scary part is when those 2 come alive in tandem, but they're going to have to do it now. Backs against the wall is G2 Esports facing elimination, and it's ENCE there above in this series so far with Sadicase and Henry G.
Working its way toward the A side. It's not crossed over. Okay, I take it back, it has. Excuse me, I thought it was still over toward A main, but Jax swinging finds Alexi B. It's down to a 1-on-1 because he's burned him from the grave, and Alu, he was well aware of that. He finds Lucky and makes it 3-1.
Lucky and Jax against Alu and Sergey. 2 of the hardest hitting players on the ENCE side.
This pinch position though. If they're gonna go 1-1 on either side, this is a very clever way of doing it because they pinch it off entirely. The peak, he knows it, Jax, he can't get it back in time. He had 3 kills in the round. And Lucky goes down, Jax can't find another. Off sequence, and that gives Sergey information to run in. He's already taking down the bomb. Alexi B's got Body down because he was solo in HP. He's on top of the stairs, nearly gets away. Jax with 4 will survive. So maybe now they can get away with it. Next 7 still wants more. He knows they're toward Tetris as well. Oh my goodness, it's down to just Kenny. There's time enough, but I don't think that they were really committing to this. They're gonna have to rush him down. Alexi's got the kit, they're on it. ENCE is gonna pull this back on 13. Shox was pulling a backstab, and then the round just completely fell apart on that alone. The Flash as well on the AWP. He's clothesline Body, this could be it. G2, they tried everything, but we might circle back to where we begun. It's all come for naught. It's Kenny and Shox, the 2 that they built this team around that have to try and keep them alive. And it's not gonna happen. It's Ariel and Sergey to 2-0 G2. They'll move on to tomorrow, and the French side goes home.
Unfortunately, it just wasn't there today.
ENCE picked up both maps with Alexi B putting the team on his back on Dust 2 and on Mirage, dropping an astounding 30 kills on both maps. Remember, Alexi B is the IGL. IGLs are not expected to get kills. In fact, it isn't uncommon if the IGL throws themselves into danger to gain info and give calls. Alexi B should not have done this, but alas, ENCE moves on anyway. Next up is Avant-Garde. For those who haven't joined the CSGO scene until recently, you may wonder, who? Avant-Garde is a Kazakhstani org with one major caveat: Jame. Jame, the only Russian on the roster, has a very controversial playing style to say the least. He's known for his extremely passive save-first mentality, so much so that when he decides to save instead of going for a clutch, it is known as Jame time. But don't be mistaken, Jame is a top-tier opper. Next to Jame is a roster of pretty solid riflers who would become solid contributing members of some very good teams, like Buster and Kicker. But Jame is the best player on this team. Compared to Alu, Jame should win easily.
I don't know what to say about that. It's a tough one, no matter which angle you're looking at it from. We do have ENCE taking on Avant-Garde here in the opener of the day, and what could be very well the path on into winning their way into the playoffs. Of course, to deliver the action will be Henry G and Sadicase. Take it away, boys.
And that's going to put down Sandwich, which means they can get deeper in from CT. Low HP on 3. Buster has to swing. He has to go wide. The problem is now the bomb's on the wrong side of the boxes, but Kicker, he's got the lineup and doubles up. In fact, Avant-Garde, great start to take the first round.
2, and they can. He needs to be aware of it. Spots him, and remember, no armor. He will melt even through the box here. It's going to be the 1 versus 1. Fitch does manage to bring it back in at least some sort of contention here.
He's gonna hold. I don't know why Fitch doesn't consider this. He's already on it behind the boxes. Fitch is a little bit late, and not only that, he'll go down. Knows one is there. He's got it easily. Sees the gun. He wants the time in his favor because he knows he's also on 36. He knows he's tradable. Down goes the first. That's the round. James can't do anything with the AWP. He knows he's got to try to escape as well, which means he can hold him with the AK bomb. Will take everyone down at this point, but it's 13-6 for ENCE. It's Alu to peek it. He's got the shot on the AWP, and that should be the game in itself because there's no time left. They've got to run to the bomb, and the transition works. A-main is what pays off for the AWP. Well, strong for ENCE wasn't necessarily the hashtag being used, but perhaps you could figure it out on your own in the Twitter sphere. We're jumping into ENCE versus Avangard on Train, and we've got two of the best storytellers in all of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. But you can push him behind. The problem with that is that Buster on the high ground was able to detect no one else was inside the brown halls, and no one left the A site, so Fitch just mows them all down with the USP.
He's done a really good job. As Kicker will get one, but is that enough? They'll commit towards lower side now. It's up to Sergey to defend.
Rotate office. They're not confirmed that it's out toward Ivy as of yet. Alu's left alone. Ariel didn't see anyone at A main, and they countered off the player at Pop Dog, but now it's all on Alu. Bomb's gonna get down there very far forward. This is a good post plan. ENCE might have to wait. They might have to consider just giving it up for one more round. They've got money enough, but they've got the AWP on Alu, and they don't want to give Avangard any further chances to get back in. That said, Alexi B gives it a go. Crizin, he's found. They know he's up there, but he's so far forward, it's hard to get past him, and they'll run into him yet again. Ariel with one. Alu's gotten closer. AWP down the tanker side. Ariel. Fitch to drop as well. It's a 2-on-2. Nade. It's going to land on top of the bomb. It's a smoke. James on an AWP switches to the knife. It's all he has to work with. They're on it. They tap it. They want to bait him out. He's swinging. He's swinging, but he's missing. They're going to get it in the smoke. ENCE, they're going to be legendary on one defuse. 16-7. And Avangard goes down, but ENCE are through. What? To get past him, and they'll run into him yet again. Ariel with one. Alu's gotten closer. AWP down the tanker side. Ariel. Fitch to drop as well. It's a 2-on-2. Nade. It's going to land on top of the bomb. It's a smoke. James on an AWP switches to the knife. It's all he has to work with. They're on it. They tap it. They want to bait him out. He's swinging. He's swinging, but he's missing. They're going to get it in the smoke. ENCE, they're going to be legendary on one defuse. 16-7. And Avangard goes down, but ENCE are through.
Well, obviously, Avangard was not a challenge, as they take the series 2-0 and move on to the final stage of the major, a playoff-style best-of-3 series. Every series is a win or go home against the best 8 teams in the world. ENCE is the second lowest-ranked team in this stage of the playoffs, and they have to face off against one of the greatest North American teams of all time, and the current number 2 ranked team in the world, the 2019 Team Liquid. This team is oozing with talent, led by star rifler ELIJ. ELIJ has been selected to HLTV's top 20 players of the year for the past 2 years, and will later be ranked the number 4 player in the world in 2019. Next to him is rising star Twist, who was also ranked in the top 20 players of the year for the past 2 years. He would later be ranked number 9 in the world in 2019. It would be enough of a challenge to go against 2 top 10 players in the world. So how about a third? Next to Twist and ELIJ is Naf. Naf has proven time and time again that he is one of the most consistently good players in the game. Naf ranked number 6 in the world in 2018 and will later be ranked number 7 in the world in 2019. Enough said. ENCE, the team with a bunch of previously unrecognized Finnish players, are going against 3 top 10 players in the world. They are 3-1 favorites in this matchup. ENCE, it's been good, but this is probably where the road ends for you.
And that's where we're starting it here in the Spodek. I need you to make a little bit of noise for the commentators. And what is the next quarterfinal? It's Esports versus Team Liquid. We've got Jason O'Toole and Vince Hill to deliver to you.
Yes, thank you, Trace. The best team ever assembled in North America takes the stage here in the Spodek Arena in front of this crowd, taking on ENCE, the hope of Finland. We'll see if they can get it done. It would have to be a massive upset, and they're starting on the T side here on Mirage.
Bomb's been planted, couple kills traded, but still in favor of ENCE. Oh no, Stewie2Ks came in with 3 in quick succession. Sergey's down to 2, make it 0, and Act7 has to try and clutch. It's a similar position that Nafly got the 1 being in the round prior. The spray can't come in quick enough, and Stewie2K with a 4K is going to get it done for Liquid. Knowing they're going to have to get into possession. Here comes Stewie, able to get 1, nearly a second. Nafly comes out worse around that trade. Oh, Ariel triples up. This now can possibly go the way of ENCE, and it has. Out of nowhere, Ariel gets a triple. The warning shot rippled out. Now Stewie2K has been found. Alexi B Gonna get 2 of his own, just watching for the flashback. Sprays on point, gets 4 in total. Will boost Naf up. Can he find any players down on the bench? Yes, he can. Alexi B caught napping. We're gonna bullet perforating through his head. Now this does give Liquid a chance. They do have control of the bomb, and Naf has found himself a kill on X7. We've got a round of it now, ladies and gentlemen. The bomb's gonna get planted. ENCE breathing down his neck. Smoke gonna get deployed onto the site to try and skew the mission. Oh, what a flick off to Sergey that is! Waiting, anticipating an Alu push. He comes through the shadows. Oh, that's ineffable from that fly. That's absolutely sensational. He's waiting, biding his time to strike, and strike he shall with 3 kills. Naflice, Stewie and Liege all get obliterated. Liquid are being evaporated in front of our very eyes. Add Nitro into the mix.
You don't like to call these rounds, but the odds are so very low, and he's got to take so many gambles, and none of them are going to pay off. Alu closes it.
Inferno delivered by Jason Moses O'Toole and Vince Hill. It's Esports trying to put Liquid in the bag here, but it's only going to be one of those things where time tells the story. Make some noise, Spodek. Let's get into our second map in this first pistol round.
This is what shut Liquid down towards the later stages of Mirage of that opening map, and it's going to start him off well here. Alu going for the follow-up, but he's got it. Catches Liquid completely off guard.
No grenades either. They'd love to throw Molotovs to back at one of these angles. Oh, Stewie uncharacteristically comes down second best in the trade, and it's down to Twist again. They know exactly where he is. He's going out there and shot in absent pits. Oh, the peak is going to go the way of Alu though, leaving Twist with it all to do on his lonesome. He's not going to be able to stop the bomb, but has finalized the frags onto Alu and Sergey. With that wing damage, has to pull back. At least has his hands on the AWP. We know he can use this gun, but he's put it right between the 2 of them. And Stewie 2K is going to punish. These next couple of kills could very well finalize this map if they go the way of the CTs. And Twist and the CZ come in massively. He can't get his hands on the AK though. Enough. Still laid in wait, gets caught by Sergey. Leaves no corner unchecked. And that's the round done. ENCE pick it up. There's the first. 2 players funneled into dark. Naflice's gonna go for the repeat, does damage, goes back in for seconds and lands, but he's gonna have to pick up 2 more. In 2 separate angles, not gonna happen, and ENCE will come back into overtime.
This is dangerous though. Stewie's died a couple times in Banana early that has really cost them rounds. This time it's Nitro. And with that boost, Sergey knows there's a second. Twist, he's at a big round. That's the bomb on the floor. Down to 2 HP, and he's gonna back off, and they've got to be careful. Alu's gonna peek out. There's the nade. ENCE opens up a bomb site, and Alu closes it back down. It's just Stewie with an AWP.
Hoping that ENCE push out a player. The true round the corner, taking a bit of damage from the Molotov is going to allow the T's to know where he is. Alu, 32 kills to his name's going to add another one, and here's the crossfire. Alu with 2. This could be all she wrote for Liquid. 20 seconds left, and Alu chipped in for a 3rd and a 4th. ENCE have done it. They pulled off the upset.
You see, I wouldn't be making this video about a great Cinderella run if they didn't win. ENCE went 2-0. ENCE did not give the second best team in the world a map. Okay, so we're going to take a moment to talk about a phrase that has come to define this team. EZ4ENCE. This phrase can be tracked back to 2016, when ENCE returned to CSGO after the CSGO breakup in 2014. They had a couple of good results, which spawned the meme phrase, and the meme kind of stayed with the team ever since. Kind of like sadplane.jpg for the Jin Air Green Wings in League of Legends, if you know anything about that. But 3 days before ENCE's first match at Katowice, as if it were fate, the Finnish band, the Verkars, released a song titled EZ4ENCE.
EZ4ENCE, ENCE, ENCE, dance, put that upper belt, put that upper belt.
The song is actually quite funny and clever when translated into English. They sing about some of Alexi B's tactics, like how he calls for late rotations on T-side, on Nuke, and some other Finnish cultural references. But this was a song written by some small Finnish band about some random Finnish esports team, who aren't even one of the biggest teams in CSGO to begin with. It shouldn't really matter, right? EZ4ENCE shot up the Finnish music charts after ENCE's success to become the 4th most listened to song in Finland. ENCE weren't just playing for themselves anymore, they were playing for their country. They were playing for Finland. Now, in the semi-final round, they are up against Na'Vi and arguably the best player of all time. Simple. However, Simple isn't the only star on this roster. They are led by veteran IGL Zeus, who is arguably the second most famous CIS CSGO player and one of the best IGLs to ever do it. Na'Vi also has star rifler Electronic, who was ranked number 4 in the world in 2018, where Simple was ranked number 1 in the world the same year. This team has immense talent, with a genius like Zeus to tie the team together. Let's see what happens.
As does Mirage, should we see 3. A semi-final, a Cinderella story, unlike anything we've witnessed in Katowice. ENCE Esports, will they continue their run? Yes, a Cinderella story, but the clock strikes midnight versus Na'Vi. Map 1, it's time for semi-final 1. Henry, Matt, this should be a spicy endeavor.
You're right, they played it perfectly. Yes, they let the bomb go down, but they stayed in the connector, they were next to each other. Any sort of threat was going to be eliminated if they worked in this sort of manner. Great stuff from Edwards.
Doesn't like to continue spraying. He might have been able to converge on that, but they walked in from Ivy. He's not aware, overwhelmed. And now it's BAWP in the hands of the T's. Sergey's got it, and he shows it off with style. Simple. In a bit of a panic, he's going to try and run away. Top of it, Ariel's already forward. It won't hurt. It will the other way. And he's going to follow it up as well. He finds Edward behind the train. He'll swing.
And Simple needs to get the hell out of there. He's got the AWP. If he gets this up, there's a chance he gets up the round. But he is spot on as usual. Double kill comes from the AWP. And X7 with the save goal, trying to keep the dream alive. But Simple. And Sergey's, I thought had that kill for sure, but Alu has.
Alu absolutely does. Zeus pulls it back, but it's a 4-on-2. Molotov down. Zeus is on 31. He has to be forced off. He has to go wide. He has to take the fight. Alu. He's got a third as well.
Even if he dies here, it's going to give away his position. This is done. ENCE are doing it. And it's the final kill for Ariel. Can you believe?
Analysts baffled, Na'Vi confused, and now one map away from a grand final. ENCE are doing everything right here in the Spodek. It's the major, the trophy in the center of the stage, and ENCE one map away from having a chance to fight for it.
He needs a little help now. Flash, Ariel. He saw it coming. He read it well. Simple starts off the first. But Ariel gets one back. Simple. He's tagged to 4. One single shot. And Alexis forced him off the angle. 29 seconds left, and Simple, he's going to be left fighting for his life to keep the AK.
Looking good in terms of the CT setup here. The orb towards window, and then he got Sergey towards the scaffolding. It looks so good, but Sergey still recovered. This doesn't go to the trigger discipline. Finds that first frag, but I don't think he gets much more of this. He finds a headshot on Zeus. There's no trade potential. It's up to Simple now to hit the shot, and he absolutely will.
Looks away at the exact moment he comes out, but take heart, sweetheart. Because Simple will take it from you, and he goes down. Ariel's left with nothing to do. He's weakened considerably, but that brings in Flamey. You want to talk about pistol aces? He got 2 on Inferno, the first player ever to find 2 aces in a single match. Thought of Electronic, but oh no, Flamey. Flamey wants to go for more. If you got 5 in one pistol round, he wants 6 this time, but he won't because Edward and Simple get the kills instead. And accused of the rifles on the CT side now, certainly Simple, Flamey. Ariel, gone. Alu, the only one left, 1 on 4. Pack it up. Ship it to Mirage. EZ4ENCE. It's not what happens in the server right now, it's what happens outside of it between the maps.
Their way to the semi-finals now, humbled on Dust 2. Mirage, our final map. It comes down to this. Thousands of fans in the stands, hundreds of thousands at home. One map, one chance, and 2 teams about to duke it out. They lock horns on Mirage. It's time to get in. One final map of our first semi-final here in Katowice.
Watch that scope though. He can't see to the right side. They step back to the left. He absolutely can. And Zeus, he'll collect 1 more for Na'Vi to make it 4 total.
Almost fell apart due to a whiff of the org. This was wonderful though. Simple, getting it done. Gets him over the finish line of this round just about. This time 2 players waiting for him to run through the flames, and Zeus is on for a big spray down here with the AK-47.
He's got 1 already. He was on for a big spray down, you're right. Unfortunately, they didn't really get in the right positions for him. Time they exploited Zeus inside of the site. Simple. He's back, and he's back yet again.
CZs and Deagles. Ariel maybe gets 2 and survives. Not bad. He'll get out of there.
Alu, there's his 4th. Back with the op. And keep that in mind.
It's fantastic to see them in the semi-final. They still have a chance of winning this game as well, going to the grand final. There it is, 5 players survive. Ariel maybe gets 2 and survives. Not bad. He'll get out of there.
Alu, there's his 4th. Back with the op. that in mind. Alu.
You don't want to be that player, but Alu's finding that confidence. Oh, he manages to get it as well. Can he get the forward? It might not matter. It's a 5-on-3 with 30 seconds remaining. I think they might have done it. Susan Simple with it all to do here.
And not even the best can save them. It's a 1-on-5 for Zeus. And is this man ever going to win a major? The deep breath, he got one with Gambit, but will he get one with Navi? That's what he's wanted. He went back for a reason, but ENCE is going to deny. The Finns, the kings of Katowice, they're through. Welcome to the big stage.
ENCE's loss on map 2 broke ENCE's 9-game win streak. But it wouldn't matter, as ENCE captured the series 2-1 to put them through to the finals, against none other than Astralis. Okay, for those of you who started following CSGO during or after the COVID pandemic, I don't think you understand how much of a force this Astralis team was. They were the greatest team of all time, period. This team would win 4 majors and a Grand Slam. 4 members of this team are in the top 4 of prize money winners in CSGO history. That 5th member? He's just 6th all time. Device is another legitimate GOAT candidate. ZipX, the clutch minister. dupreeh, the winningest player of all time. Glaive, one of the greatest IGLs of all time. And finally, the newest member, Magisk, to round out this roster. This team was a well-oiled machine that has been terrorizing the CSGO scene for years. Up against ENCE in the grand finals of IEM Katowice. Let's see what ENCE has, carrying Finland on their back.
Let's get it on! Please welcome to the stage the first team, and that is Astralis! They have won everything recently, but if you look into their eyes, you know that they want this as well. And if you check the form books, the betting, you would know they are massive favourites. But that's what's been against the next team all the way through this tournament. They are underdogs, but they are here to win. Please welcome to the stage, it's ENCE!
EZ4ENCE, ENCE, 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 putted upperbelt, putted upperbelt. Miners Pageri, haastaa legendaarisi. Nyt isot liigas niinku Roosberg, suomalais rättii, maailmanluokan kaliberi, 2 lasi maitoa ja 1 lasi piimää.
TI champions from open qualifiers, and ENCE, now in the Counter-Strike world, look to challenge the Goliath. It's Astralis taking on ENCE. Their first major Astralis looking to win them back-to-back. This is the juxtaposition. This is Astralis versus ENCE, and it is map 1.
10 CZ, money not as strong as you might think that. As we head into round number 4, Alu, player right next to him, that's Ariel, he doesn't miss many shots, he'll take him down. But ZipX finds the bomb.
Finds the bomb is the key aspect, because now Alu has to find a kill, create space. What up? How does he jump off the ladder? It's so unpredictable. Sergey just absolutely fused and destroyed dupreeh all in one motion, but ZipX will hold it. Sneaking in lane as well. Time's on his side. Low HP finds dupreeh. Device gets off, and plays the ladder so that the feet don't show, and he's pulling him away from the bomb. Each step further away, a better chance to win the round. Device, does he have time to get back?
It's going to be a close one here, Matt. This will be the eco victory, and ENCE have pulled it off.
ZipX has not moved an inch. Alu sees it. So perfect, so precise. As Alu gets it, the second off works. They held it off, but just wanted to work back in the ramp. He couldn't do it. 14-9. They're giving him so much space. And Astralis, they catch him off. Next 7, they get the 1 kill they need. That forces dupreeh's hand, and now ENCE! They picked it apart! His own gun, I think, blocked the vision, and now ZipX knows that they're working in. 1 above. Oh, he's the lamb. And ENCE the slaughter, because it's ZipX that's gonna hold it off!
More dynasty to be forged for Astralis and ENCE to complete the Cinderella story. The odds stacked against them. It's over to Henry G and Sadakis to shout about their favorite video game.
In all three of the pistols, he has gotten the opener, but Device is so far down Banana already, and he and Dupree, they pulled it back.
Looking very good, but Device towards Log shuts it all down. It's now just Aerial, and the Astralis players are very, very aware of that. The bomb's still down in T-Spawns, are pushed towards the step.
Howler's the only one there so far getting AWP, up close as it is. Utility thrown in, flash dodge, Zipit goes for it, exactly the play that was called out. Dupree back in, both, and it's 7-0.
Every kill Zipex can find in this situation, it's going to have a massive knock-on effect. He might still be able to win this, you know. With a minute there, the flashbang goes through, it's actually looking very good. Sergey will take him, but Thor, things get out of hand.
On caution in the wind at this point, he's got to try and catch them off somehow shortly with Device again. He's ready for it. He certainly is. Device nearly getting the ace. I thought he would get the fifth. Glaive beats him to it. Good as 2018, but there's no signs of them slowing down. Not for Dupree either. He'll get two. They walk in the smoke. Glaive, he'll only punish one, but it's just Aerial to find, and it's done. They had one goal.
And just like that, it's over. David could not slay Goliath. Astralis was just too good. But in a sense, ENCE had already won. They had become fan favorites with one of the catchiest fight songs ever. After the major, ENCE climbed the HLTV rankings to reach #2 in the world behind Astralis. ENCE tried to run it back at the Star Series and I-League CSGO Season 7, but lost in the quarterfinals. Then they lost in the finals at the DreamHack Masters Dallas 2019 tournament, and that was the last the roster saw of success as they bombed out of ESL Cologne 2019. After a quarterfinal elimination at the Starladder Berlin Major in August of 2019, Alexi B was benched and replaced by Sunny. Alexi B joined OG Esports' brand new CSGO roster in December. X7 would be acquired by Haru in August of 2020. Later in 2020, Aerial would step down due to medical reasons before leaving to join X7 on Haru. Sergey would step down from the roster due to motivation issues before leaving the team. Finally, on May 12, 2021, only 2 years after the legendary run at Katowice, Alu took a leave of absence from ENCE's roster due to personal reasons, before leaving to join Jano Esports. The team that won the hearts of the CSGO community was gone. Nowadays, ENCE has decided to move away from a Finnish exclusive team and became an international squad, which was becoming quite common, with G2 deciding to do the same thing a year prior. But this legendary run will be remembered in CSGO history forever. As of the making of this video, the song EZ4ENCE has over 17 million views between the music video and just the song on YouTube. Valve would add the song to the game permanently in the form of a customizable music kit on March 29, 2019. EZ4ENCE is even spreading to Riot Games' Counter-Strike styled game, Valorant, with memes such as this.
No, nice.
Torilla tavataan.
For you.
Now, every single CSGO player or fan for years to come will know how an overlooked Finnish team full of washed or completely unknown players toppled giants and came so close to breaking CSGO as we know it today. Thank you, ENCE, for giving us a story to tell. And that's it.